10 minutes with you today, so I'm going to tell you a story. As Carrie said, I love stories. In 2019, I began my entrepreneurial journey in an abusive relationship. I was the perfect victim. I was in a job that I hated. I was a sparkly, very cute pink lipstick, round peg in a square hole of blue IBM suits and bald white men. And I couldn't figure my way out. I was lost. And then I met her. She was successful. She was triumphant. She was gorgeous. She was 2 years into her entrepreneurial journey and had already made $500,000. She knew what she was doing, right? So what did I do? I asked her for help, and I received help. But I also received the presence in my life of the narcissistic energy vampire that I didn't know I needed. Every idea she had was better than mine. Every thought, every word, every idea was better than anything that I could ever come up with my puny little brain. And we built my business. And it was months and months and months until one day, I sat there and I realized, I have this business that I actually don't know how to run. She had set things up and she had every step by step. If there were 3 steps, she gave me step 1 and step 2, but I had to come back to her for step 3. So I looked around and I had a business that maybe would have gotten me to that $500,000 mark, but I had no idea what to do with it. And what did that do to me? Instant imposter. Sometimes we look around and we wonder where our imposter syndrome came from. Mine has a name. I'm not going to give it to you. But when I looked into the mirror, I realized that the name was actually mine. So I was playing, like I said in the beginning, the perfect victim. I took no accountability for my life. I took no accountability for my situation. And I said, someone please save me. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's no knight and there's no white horse. Correct? Yes. So when I looked up and I said, I have this business that was supposed to give me all of this freedom, and I have none of it, and then I now am laid off, that happened. What am I going to do? And I had to figure out how to move from this victim place, this place of imposter, this place of my voice is not good enough to tell my own story, to a place where I could step into my power, and I did it in 3 steps. The first step, I did. We had to have a breakup, y'all. Broken up with a friend. It's harder than breaking up with any man or woman or your spouse. It's rough. I mean, I wrote a letter. Like I was in 8th grade. Y'all remember that? Dear Susie. No, I wrote a letter. Her name was not Susie. Didn't give it away. Because she didn't want to talk to me. Because if any of you have dealt with a tried and true narcissist, they can't be confronted with any criticism of themselves. So I asked to talk to her. I was a big girl. I put my big girl panties on. She said no. I took them off. And it was a rough breakup, but you know what I got from that moment? Space. Yeah. And you know what happens in space? You get to find yourself. Within that space, I could look at myself and call out the true culprit of the situation, who was me. There are many situations and many victims who did not ask to be a victim, but you know who did ask to be a victim? Me. By giving away my agency, by giving away my energetic sovereignty, I put myself in the role of the perfect victim, and I was tired of it. So I needed to give myself space. And in that space, I started realizing that the only voice that is equipped to tell my story is my own. It is my own. So then I said, well, she became the voice in my head. I told mine to take a back seat long time ago, you don't even know that much anyways. Listen to her, she knows what she's doing. So I had to kick her out, evict her from my head, and go and find out what I really thought, what I had to say, what my voice was, how I could stand in my power. And it was, it was rough. This is not an overnight experience. There were ayahuasca ceremonies in the Amazon that happened. I went to seminars, and I talked to the people and the coaches and the gurus and the meditation and all of the things, all to do something that should actually be pretty darn easy. Within all of us, there is a spark, a light. I call it your radically authentic self, the undiable part, the part that knows, the part that understands your higher purpose without you having to say anything, the part that is guiding you, omnipresent part of you that is made of pure love, pure light. All you technically have to do, I'll make it real easy for you. Just uncover that part, you'll be fine, you're straight, I'm done. That's what I had to do. I had to uncover that part of me. I didn't have to add anything. I didn't have to get somebody else's voice. I didn't have to read any self-help books. Although I did. I didn't need to, but I did. I just needed to unearth the wisdom that I already had. So I had to excavate her voice and replenish it with my own, the one that was already there. And once I started to do that, I realized, you know what? I like this chick. She's pretty dope. And I wonder if I just worked with her, what we could create together. And that was my third step. I got to creating. Who here has realized that you're a powerful creator? Yeah, man. I like this room. Yeah, buddy. I was late to the party. I had to step into that. And then I started getting curious. Well, what can I create? What can I do if it's just little old me? Don't know nothing. Oh, sorry. I was over here, just a marketing executive with 15 years of experience under my belt and a degree from USC. Nothing, didn't know nothing. What can I create? I created $250,000 in 6 months is what I created. I built a business by unearthing that radically authentic part of me. By changing the story I told myself and by changing the role I played in that story. In a storytelling framework, have you noticed that the hero, the knight, has all the fun? He's the one that goes on all the adventures and slays the dragon and does whatever with the witch in a castle or whatever, right? While the damsel, is pining away in a towel or just straight up asleep? Right? Straight up asleep. I was playing the victim role where no transformation happens. I needed to move from victim to hero and now to guide, the hero role, where everything happens, where transformation happens, where power is found, where adventure happens, where you get to go through the crap and you're probably gonna be wrong and you're gonna make mistakes. I made many mistakes. But you know what? You also get to come back for the happily ever after. You also get to come back from the end because you were the one who went on the journey. Victims, imposters, do not go on journeys. They're just waiting to be saved. If many of you are here, for some of you I can tell, I don't feel that way. I'm a badass bitch. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the rest of you who maybe ever in your life have felt marginalized, have felt like you couldn't stand in your power, have felt like you couldn't tell your story. Talking to you. Because I felt that way. I really, truly have. And you don't need to do ayahuasca ceremonies or have all the coaching to go through it. You just need to sit with yourself and listen for that voice that already knows. The one that's eager, so eager, to go on the journey. The one that's pushing you out of your comfort zone. The one who's saying, yes, you can do this. We can do this together. As you step into your power and realize who you are as a powerful creator, I want you to realize that life truly is a fairy tale. It is. It's a fairy tale of your own making. But don't play the damsel in distress. Don't play the one who doesn't step out and use their voice. Play the knight in shining armor. My armor is gold and it's studded with diamonds. Play the role in your own story so that you can guide someone else on the journey of theirs. As you step into your power, I invite you today and every day to create your own happily ever after. Thank you.